I love this house. We love this house, my wife and I, and that's why we bought it, because it was an old stone house, and we love old stone homes.
Dennis is a self-made contractor who enjoys his work. He takes special pride in restoring his 18th century home in Montvale.
The ceiling had collapsed. There was no closet here. Had to gut the whole bathroom.
It's grueling work in the best of circumstances.
I stripped the paneling down.
But for most of his life, Dennis has battled the effects of a gymnastics injury he suffered when he was only 14.
I hyperextended my spine, and I was in such pain. I was crawling across the floor. The entire class just gasped because it was such a horrific thing to say.
For decades after the injury, even the most benign movement could trigger a cascade of agony.
And my back would spasm, and I would just collapse. I couldn't control myself. I would just collapse onto the ground in excruciating pain. Not being able to breathe because all the muscles are locked up around the lungs, so you're gasping for air. This was another bathroom that needed to be totally gutted.
Despite this unpredictable, crippling pain, Dennis was reluctant to seek a surgical solution.
I just wanted to wait until I came up with something that was going to guarantee that they could successfully fix my spine. So I put it off for years and years and years.
People are terrified of surgery, particularly fusion surgery. Nobody wants to come see me, and so almost everybody is resistant. What happens to some people, though, it just becomes so clear to them that their quality of life is impaired that they're willing to do something which they consider to be desperation.
It was almost going to battle.
And that was the case with Dennis. For years, he dedicated himself to core training, hoping that by strengthening his abdominal and back muscles, he'd be able to stave off surgery. It worked, until it didn't.
And it got me through all those years. But it got bad, and that's why I needed surgery. It got really bad.
Now, I've been a strong advocate for my entire career in trying to build core strength to treat this problem. But in his case, this particular constellation of symptoms is really difficult to do. And this is a guy that was very, very fit coming in to see me to start with. So he tried exercise and failed. So it was kind of really, we got quick to the point. You're either going to live with this, or you're going to try something you really don't want to go through, which is a fusion.
I said, I've done it all, and I'm ready. It's been a long time. So I was ready for surgery.
What people think about fusion is that it's dangerous, that it's terribly painful, that they're going to lose mobility afterwards. None of those are true. But there is a big problem with fusion, and the problem with fusion is in its predictability. I thought it was quite predictable, more than 90% chance in his case that he would be happy with the result when all was said and done.
One reason for Dr. Roth's optimism was that, unlike many who suffer back pain, there was an obvious cause for Dennis's.
I had to put a closet in.
In his case, it was quite clear. He had fractured, when he had this gymnastics accident, the structural part of his spine. It's called the pars interarticularis, and it's a bony bridge between two different levels.
Standing on a ladder, taking a ceiling down.
And in addition to the fracture, Dennis's vertebrae were unstable, causing them to slip over and onto the bone beneath.
That particular type of fracture and the evidence of dynamic instability is a very, very strong indicator of where the pain is coming from. So he kind of came in, we looked at his films, we understood why he was having pain. And the question was, what's the best way to treat that? So we did a fusion, and the type of fusion we did is a minimally invasive fusion. But in essence, we put bone graft into where the disc was, and then we use what are called inside-out screws. So they're very low profile, and there's very little muscle retraction necessary to put them in. And that's what we did with him.
It's a new life. I haven't felt this way since I was 14 years old, I'd say. I don't have that back pain anymore. It's gone. And I can split wood now after having surgery with Dr. Roth. That's cool.